Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for the energy of Saturn. So this one has been kind of like a couple days, just trying to figure out what exactly was coming through. But anyway, so I'm gonna just read a short description. This is the There Are No Coincidences Oracle deck. I'm not using this deck in this reading today. Maybe I should. But anyways, I'm going to read the description of Saturn because I find this one really interesting. Just to sort of start off the reading. But before that, there's kind of like this energy here of like black and white, especially with the shirt that I am wearing today. Something about like black and white, something's be in black and white or something like that. Anyways, I'll leave that there for now. We'll see if it comes in a bit later. Even all the decks that I'm using have all this sort of black and white energy. I haven't pulled the cards yet. I want to do that on camera again. But anyways, so this description for Saturn. So Saturn may not be the largest planet in the solar system, but it is the most stabilizing. In fact, Saturn's immense gravitational pull tugs on Jupiter, preventing it from hurtling towards the sun and destroying Earth along the way. Distant and elusive, Saturn's existence maintains cosmic equilibrium, holding all other celestial bodies in place to ensure long-term sustainability. And with both the astronomy and astrology intertwined in perfect harmony, it should come as no surprise that Saturn is the essence of boundaries, restriction, and responsibility. In mythology, Saturn is associated with Kronos, the personification of time. Saturn's orbit is one of the most notorious milestones in astrology. The Saturn return occurs approximately every 29 years, when Saturn concludes its long journey around the sun. During our Saturn return, we become keenly aware that it is our sole responsibility to actualize our potential, and that the clock is ticking. Indeed, Saturn's symbolism teaches us powerful lessons about hard work, accountability, and perhaps most importantly, the gift of the present moment. So there are some other things to come in through Saturn. So the keywords are commitment, responsibility, restriction, and wisdom. And some other sort of symbolic things are wrinkles, rakes, clocks, contracts, and the zodiac signs of Capricorn and Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by both Saturn and Uranus. So the Uranus reading, whenever that is, might have information for you if this reading resonates. So the energy of Saturn, we have sort of like a black and white energy or theme going on for this one today. Doesn't want to start. Okay, wants to start with the tarot. Five of Cups to come out first. That's a tough energy. This card talks to me about disappointment. Especially with Saturn, because it is coming through with sort of like an energy of like, sometimes it comes through with like restriction or boundaries or like having to do things the hard way, so to speak. So maybe there's something that, maybe there's something about like maybe hoping something would be easier, but perhaps like there's some sort of disappointment with that. And the Capricorn card coming out, the Devil. So the sign or the in the Alchemy deck, which again I'm not using today. Maybe I should be using those decks. The metal that's associated with Saturn energy is lead, which is sort of the beginning of something. With this Devil card, I sometimes see this as like experiencing pain in your physical body that has some sort of perhaps like is associated with some sort of task or like something that you have to do. Perhaps it was kind of coming through as being sort of like a headache. Like it's like having to do something that is causing a headache. But it's kind of like once you do it, I feel like it would help to alleviate the stress or the tension or that kind of thing. Because this Devil card talks about like stress or tension that perhaps causes physical pain in the body, wherever that is for you. Perhaps something that has been avoided, or is just like something that someone's dreading, or with the 5 of Cups is associated with disappointment or loss. So the Mercury card is coming out next. So the Mercury reading, I haven't done that one yet. So whenever that one comes out, keep an eye on it. Eye out for it in case there's keep an eye on it. Interesting. So Mercury just went direct, right? But I'm honestly, I'm still feeling the energy of the Mercury retrograde, but this one is talking to me about, so again with contracts, right? Because that came in with Saturn as well. Because that, especially with the Devil card, that can talk about contracts. Mercury is also an energy that deals with contracts as well. So there could be some sort of like new contract, or just shining a light on some sort of contract as well. Maybe there's a contract that is causing pain in some way, but it's like the contract has to be fulfilled. The contract has to be fulfilled. And then you have here the Drowned King and the Uncreated. This Drowned King is it's one of the tougher energies in this deck. It talks about a fall from grace. It talks about an ego death as well. And the Uncreated, like something that hasn't been created yet, is what's coming through with that. I'm going to read the Drowned King description. That one's a tough energy. There, especially with the 5 of Cups, right? This talks about some sort of like an emotional task is just how it's coming through. Like something that somebody doesn't want to do because it's emotional in some way. Okay. So the Drowned King, ego collapse, losing face, humility. In alchemy, the archetype of the king is often used as a symbol for the ego, the aspect of the self that is attached to its title, name, and identity. It is said that the Drowned King is a required phase in the process of transformation. Only through dissolving who they thought they were is the king able to become who they are destined to be, a kind and benevolent leader. How does the drowning occur? Not voluntarily, that's for certain. Through circumstances beyond their control, the king is brought to their bottom, to their knees. When this card appears, expect a huge blow to the ego, impactful enough that it causes one to turn their life around, prioritizing grace over greed, benevolence over brutality, sovereignty over selfishness. The drowned king eventually resurfaces as a fully charged, benevolent being. As I was saying, tough energy. That's a tough energy. So because it's coming through with this energy here of like loss of some sort, especially with Capricorn energy, this can come through as being sort of like how other people view you. Because Capricorn energy can be sort of focused on like achievement and success, right? Typically that's how Capricorn energy comes through, or those are like some themes that Capricorn energy deals with. So there may be something about like some sort of achievement that perhaps is not Can I get one more card from this deck? But with the uncreated here, this one's a really positive energy, actually. There's something about, like, something that has, like, the potential to be created in this space. Separation. There's a reason why this reading has taken a couple of days to come in, because I feel like there's, with the energy of separation, it talks about like, so perhaps separating from an aspect of one's ego in terms of like, and I'm not talking about like egotistical, that kind of thing, though I don't know, for someone maybe, but it's like, it's talking more about like our identity and who we thought that we were, or who you think that you are, or how other people view you, or whatever, especially in terms of success and achievement. But there may be some sort of separation happening with that. Perhaps separating from... And then you have Neptune at the bottom of the deck. A lot of blue energy as well coming in. Which is interesting. I was also kind of getting... I didn't read the second part in this description, but there was something coming in about a green light, right? Like a green light, which typically means go, but here with the Mercury, right, it's looking like the green light here, shining a light on something, but it was kind of coming through as being like, whatever road it is that you're going down, there may be something about like encountering a lot of red lights, right? Like, not being able to go through all the green lights, right? Getting stopped at every single red light is kind of how it's coming through here. There might also be, I don't know, for somebody, the autobiography by Matthew McConaughey, Green Lights, might be something of interest for someone. Highly recommend as an audiobook. You have the Lovers in reverse. The Daughter of Wands. Three of Pentacles and the Sun in reverse. So I feel like there's something here about like some sort of collaboration that fell through is how that's feeling to me. With the Sun in reverse and the Daughter of Wands. The Daughter of Wands is very creative. It talks to me about like some sort of creative opportunity or expression, but it also talks to me about being conscious of your energy. Especially with the Sun in reverse. So I'm gonna put it upright just because it doesn't really matter in this case which way the sun is. But I'm seeing all these birds sort of like... these birds that are going different ways. So maybe there's an energy of like there's a separation happening where perhaps energies that were the same at one point are now separating, is kind of how it's coming through. Because it's kind of looking to me like with the Lovers in reverse, like these birds are going off on some other direction, and there may be somebody or like some energy, whether or not this is you or someone else, just take it. I'm just going to describe it generally with the Daughter of Wands sort of being like, it's like this is at the center though, is kind of how I'm seeing this. A broken contract, maybe? And then the Five of Wands. This card talks to me about people that don't reflect you. Where it's so, or like people who perhaps are similar in some ways, but the differences are difficult to overlook, is how it was coming through. And so it leads to potentially conflict. This one generally is not that like fiery. It's more just like different opinions, different points of view. I mean, ideally you would want to sort of be able to work together, but I feel like there's something about maybe someone's feeling like the differences are too difficult to overlook. And you have here the Eight of Cups. So traditionally the Eight of Cups talks about like walking away from something that's not satisfying. But this one talks about, in this deck specifically, talks about ill health, right? Like, so perhaps walking away from something because it's not benefiting somebody in terms of their health, especially with the Capricorn or like the Devil energy. This one, it's tied to physical health that has sort of like physical health that is tied to spiritual or energetic ties to something. There's this song, I don't remember who it's by, but it's called like Walking on Broken Glass. I feel like the artist name is Annie something. I can't remember. Especially coming out underneath the Five of Wands, right? That's It's like having to walk away from like conflict or ill health or like situations that cause that in some way. Right? Like what, just walking away from energies like that. And then you have next here the Two of Wands and the Seven of Cups. So the Two of Wands talks to me about like a path forward, right? Like a clear path forward, or aligning to something or something else, or moving forward on something. So I feel like that's positive energy. It's coming out with the Seven of Cups though, which talks about confusion or having to make a decision on something. It's wanting to connect to this Neptune energy. I feel like maybe that's not clear yet, because now I'm seeing all this sort of like triangular shapes, right? Like perhaps there are like a path opening up is actually how it's coming through, but that starts from a separation. Now I'm kind of seeing like pool balls, right? When they sort of hit one another and then they go off in different directions, that kind of thing. And then you have the Magician coming out next. So with the uncreated, it's like there's something that wants to be created, but I feel like in the moment, or like the energy that's around at the moment, and the Ace of Wands underneath that. Okay, so there's something about like maybe some sort of like collaboration, because it's coming out with the Three of Pentacles, that is going separate ways, or like a contract is being broken in some way, because it's kind of like perhaps both people within, or both whatever, however this plays out for you, it kind of feels like there may be three energies. So it kind of feels like there's one person on their own, is how it's feeling to me, where two may be going off on their own. It's kind of how it's coming through. And I feel like it's because there's something that wants to be created here with the uncreated, but it doesn't have enough space or energy to come in the current configuration, is the word that I heard, in the current configuration of the energy or the structure, especially with Saturn, right? Because it talks about boundaries, and I was kind of getting this energy of space, like not enough space or structure, because those things are like finite, right? They're like there's only so many hours in a day, that kind of thing, especially with time. So it might be time that is the finite resource. It's like the uncreated energy is trying to come in, but the way that things are now, it's there's not enough space, or there's not enough time, so it's kind of like causing conflict or like pain somewhere, and that might be causing a separation from whatever it is that's taking up too much time or space or energy. Because you have here the Magician and the Ace of Wands coming out next, right? And the Daughter of Wands here, it feels like this is sort of like the the lone energy, whatever that is, because this was coming out underneath the sun in reverse. And the Ace of Wands as well. Because these cards look very similar in terms of energy, but almost inverted. The Jupiter reading might have something in there for you as well. Because I feel like there's something about, like, something is being created. It's the Son of Pentacles. So you have the Son of Pentacles and the Father of Wands, and then the Empress and the Two of Cups. And at the bottom of the deck, you have the Two of Swords, the Three of Swords, and the Four of Swords. It's definitely a progression. 2, 3, 4 of Swords. But there's separation in the middle, right? There's something here about, like, there's a separation energy. Because sometimes I see this Three of Swords as being, like, entanglements. Like, what causes the pain is actually, or what causes the discomfort is, like, having entanglements that are no longer a match to you, or that have too many differences, is kind of how it's coming through, that perhaps are just, like, it's causing this sort of stalemate. And with the Four of Swords as well. So I want to say that it doesn't feel like this is a romantic relationship kind of separation. It feels like separation from whatever this Three of Pentacles is for you. So perhaps, like, collaborations in work, or business, or resources in whatever way that is. That's sort of what it feels like to me. But with the, because I feel like there may actually be, because I'm seeing this, the way that the cards are coming out here like this. Again, it feels like these are like business partnerships or something like that, or like friends or whatever. There may be sort of like pushback is kind of how that's feeling from this separation, because I'm seeing these as being like, these are being separated because there's whoever this magician energy is meant to create something, but they can't create it while these are occupying the space, is how that's feeling, or the time, or the energy, especially with Pentacles and Wands, right? It's coming through as resource, energy resource, material resource, or just time in general, because this is a Saturn reading. Son of Pentacles is also Capricorn energy to me, or Virgo. I feel like here with the Empress and the Two of Cups as well, because this Empress talks to me about like making space, or creating space, because it looks like an X-ray. Something about an X-ray. But I'm also seeing here with the Seven of Cups. This one's really interesting because it depends on which way it comes out. And sometimes it's flipped in reverse. Especially with the sun coming out in reverse, right? That there's an Ace of Cups energy here. Is how it's coming through. But there may be sort of like the way that it came out was this way, which is the Six of Cups. So again, Six of Cups is the soulmate energy or the past. It could be the past. Like soulmates from the past. So soulmates from the past could be romantic or not. Generally, Six of Cups to me is just like family, friends, all of those soulmates, but includes all of them. So it could be, that's sort of how I'm seeing this energy. It's like past soulmates are being separated is how that's coming through. Perhaps just temporarily, I don't know. Because there's a Two of Cups energy coming in, or that there's something that is wanting to be created. I feel like here with the Daughter of Wands, this also talks about like protecting one's energy or protecting one's ideas or like inspiration. Because this Magician to me talks about having almost all of the resources or like all the things that you need, but there's a hesitation or perhaps a delay in some way, because there's perhaps this energy that is pushing back against it is kind of how it's coming through. The Sun in reverse, just be conscious of like your physical health is how it's coming through. Especially if you're experiencing any sort of pain in your body. It may be associated with something that is leaving your life in some way. So it could be causing physical pain. This is why the Saturn energy took so long, because it's feeling kind of like a restriction in whatever area of your life, like not as a punishment. It's not as a punishment. It feels like in order to accomplish something else, or in order to create something else, or in order to reach some sort of like successful outcome or something, it's like something else has to be removed in some way, or like because the space or the energy is finite, or the time. It's like if something's taking up X amount of hours in your day, it's not going to it's like that, I don't know, something like that. It's wanting to, it doesn't have to be time, it could be any sort of like resource where there's a limit to how much you have, like time, energy, space. Perhaps just putting stricter boundaries on how much you use that time. Here with the lady and the mice. So this mice card talks about like if you allow the mice to sort of take little bits from you, if you allow the mice to sort of take little bits from you, they'll eventually start taking more and more, right? Like it's that kind of thing. Where it's like if that's saying like if you let them take an inch, they'll take a mile, that kind of thing. Like, so it's like just being conscious of who you're giving your energy to or what you're investing in or like how you're spending your time or energy or resources, because it's kind of like there may be energies here that if they are allowed to take some, they'll take more than their fair share, is how that's coming through. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, but it just kind of like it could potentially cause setbacks, right? Because it's kind of like it would require like an extra trip, or it would require like having to do something over again, right? So if you allow the mice energy to sort of take up time, like it takes more time than expected, is how that's coming through. Like imagine if you like something that doesn't feel like a big deal, but then it actually causes more of a headache later on because you have to like redo something, or like it's like having to redo work that you've already done because the mice interfered in some way. The lady card is talking, so perhaps there's feminine energy here that's important. I'm gonna get one more. Portal for the sunset. Yeah, I feel like there's some sort of like, again, this energy doesn't feel like necessarily a bad thing or separation in terms of like it's like a heartbreak or anything like that. It's not, it doesn't feel like it's romantic related. It feels more like resources related. Like there's a separation between you and people who are taking up a lot of your either like energy, resource, or time, or whatever that is. It feels kind of like here with the sunset, like a bit bittersweet in terms of like giving it space or honoring the ending in some way, or allowing it to sort of move naturally through an ending. Allowing it to move naturally through an ending, especially with this energy at the bottom of the deck, right? The 2, 3, and the 4 of swords all coming out together, which I feel like is kind of like moving through this sort of tough energy, but with like it's very peaceful and natural, because you are ending here with the 4 of swords, like integrating whatever lessons needed to be learned. It could just be about setting boundaries with an energy or people or relationships or with work or whatever. Setting boundaries that because it's like there's something here with the Ace of Wands that is like really pulling on you or drawing your attention, or like that is really wanting to be created or explored. Some sort of new inspiration, or like something that's very passionate. It's like this wants to be the focus. this wants to occupy your time and energy and your resources in some way, whatever that is to you. It doesn't have space though at the moment, because I sometimes see this Two Swords as, or Two of Wands as being like a runway. Anyways, okay. I'm gonna leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. It helps so much. Thank you for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.